Welcome back, everyone, or whoever watches this. Whoever you are, I have no idea. Alright, where we left off, I think I had just gotten one half of the little medallion thing that I need. I think, let me actually check on that. Yes, we got one half of it. And the other half is, well, kind of difficult to get, but easy enough. But first, we will need to go due north. Yesterday, I mentioned how that to get a certain item that will be very valuable for the run, the flask of something or the other, is basically just a pickup item that's just tucked over here in the corner. I don't know how people found it so fast when everyone started playing, but hey, they did. And so did I, so I guess, who knows. There's the bear from yesterday. This time, I'm not gonna make the mistake of running directly into its side. I know, a brilliant idea. These things here, I'm not really sure what they're supposed to do, but normally when I touch them, they kind of spawn a ghosty guy you can follow. I don't really know, because normally I find all the treasures and whatnot naturally just by sprinting about the map. So hey, that's cool at least. Anyway, we have reached the wondrous physique. Or physic, I don't know how to pronounce it like most of the things in this game. Which is, yeah, pretty common by this point, honestly. And I don't really need the physique. Well, considering we're going to Caelid, maybe it's best that I actually do prepare this with at least a little bit of healing, right? Anyway, the next part is my favorite way to Caelid, considering it means you don't have to fight the annoying, I think it's a lady with the meat cleaver. Just because, in case you're fairly early into the game, it makes it to where you don't have to bother with it. And also it unlocks a very later area. Very later, probably like 10 levels out from where I am now. It unlocks this area a tad early. Also unlocks the Beast Man here. A real good guy, but I'm not sure if we're going to be using him too much. I mean, he has some good stuff. I'm just not a big fan of the spells that they use. Normally in the runs, there's only one spell I use, and that's mostly just to kill Radha. Yeah, but anyway, because I'm not an idiot, we are not gonna run clean through the dragon. I know, that sounds like a crazy idea. We are going to go around the dragon. In case anyone didn't know this and only knew about the back way, well, this might be the back. I don't know which way is the back way. Well, basically, this whole area is covered in little mines. You saw, well, that thing there I just ran over. Normally, when you hit it, it gives you some poison. Oh, I forgot about him. Well, let's hope that I don't die to that guy. Which, it looks like Torrance is a little faster. It seems you can't get too far from that bridge. At least that's what it kind of looks like. Who knows? Oh hey, it's Millennia.
Forgive me. To determine if you have... It seems torrent, whereas I may. There is, but I can take gathering.
We aren't gonna go there yet, just because we are doing something. But don't worry, this isn't a no round table, no upgrading weapons. This is just, we don't really have to go there right off the bat. Considering we have all this juicy loot right here, and it ain't that far from where I plan to go, which is the ruins of, I don't really remember what it's called, but it's a coolish place. Real useful. And actually fairly close to it is a pretty decent summon for early to mid-game, which is the Rotten Dogs. They're basically the wolves, but they hit more, they're more aggressive, and they even inflict rot. Which, if you think sounds like overkill, it is pretty good. I mean, I believe it was actually one of the major things that was used to, like, cheese the dragon sentinel dude at the gate to Liendo. Back when the game was pretty new. I tried it, but I could never really get a hold of it, so I just used Mimic and just kind of bashed through with my skull. Which, for any of y'all wondering, this weapon is going to... The weapon I'm aiming for will really help out against just about every boss that's weak to either bleed or frost. Which is actually the majority of the enemies in this game. Not to mention, it's a strength weapon that does a crazy amount of damage. It's a fairly decent pick. And don't worry, I don't intend to fight big old Dragon Boy today. Okay. Guess I'll take this way. So here is what we have come for. In this area are two items we want. There is Radahn's Sword Seal, a very good item that chances are if you get it, you'll probably be using it in the late game. There's only one downside to this item, is that it makes you take a little bit extra damage. It isn't that big of a punishment considering it gives you more health, stamina, and all that, but it can be kind of annoying, early on at least. And now that we're going to be wearing it soon, we're probably going to get one shot by at least one or two items. But this right here is the other side of the medallion we came looking for. Now we can enter into the Altus Plateau. In this area, you don't really want to linger here too long, considering there are big old ghosties that want to kill you. I don't really want to die before I get the thing we're after, so... I'm just gonna go ahead and sprint on those two. Can we make it out of here alive? Probably not. Actually... Oh yeah, that rat just one-shot us. Anyway, we got what we came for, which means we have everything we need to proceed on to the Altus Plateau and get the weapon. Because, for anyone who might be new to the game or don't know, that's what we'll grab the map on here. For anyone who might not know, there are a few weapons for some reason, like the stronger ones, are hidden in chests, just either lying about or being pulled by big old carts. It's actually where a few of the real good weapons come from, like the great sword. I mean, the great sword, the weapon, not the great sword class, which I know it's confusing. I believe. Actually, I've already picked up 2 weapons from these, haven't I? Or did I just decide to skip past it? Missed that, but oh well. Alright. I don't believe there's anything else up here, really. I guess we could go this way. Oh, hey. Also, that big tower there is how you restore the Great Runes. I think that one there is Radahn's. And the only one of the items you get from the demigods that you don't actually get to use is probably the easiest one to fight, in my opinion, considering you can just spam the weapon art on him and use heavy attacks, and he will, like, melt like butter, and that is, if you haven't put 2 and 2 together, the Blasphemer Rykard. Actually, right up ahead is the greatsword I mentioned. Considering it's just here, I might as well go and try and grab it. If you do this right, not a thing will see you grab it, and you can just walk in, walk out. Oh, I got spotted by a few things, huh? Well, let's get out of there. Oh, and we forgot something, but we don't really need that yet. And later in the game, that's a fairly decent spot to farm for runes. If you really want it, that is. In my opinion, that place is kind of not too useful, but hey, people can hunt wherever they want. And also, just to save time, I'm going to jump off a cliff. That's the thing, in this game, sometimes dying is just better than sitting around and waiting. Because, let's be honest, in a game where you are expected to die, if you need to, it's kind of recommended to, just to save yourself trouble and time. Alright. Lumps of flesh can be used to heal you, say if you're out of flask, but I'm fairly sure they also give you poison buildup whenever you eat them. Which is, well, they're real useful in earlier builds and whatnot, but they can become useless, but yeah, I mean, some people can still use them. They're real effective, so I'm not one to judge. Right there is a stone sword key, real useful item. That I will intend to be picking up. Looks like 2 of the wolves have followed us.
Everyone who
And we can talk to
only
her.
have their arms taken, their legs taken, even their heads taken. Taken and stuck to the spider. Did you know? If
you're grafted by the spider, you become a chrysalid. You're all on your own, are you? And heading to store, enticed by the one in the white mask, I suppose. Oh, you've come to be one with the spider? Well, that makes us two peas in a pod. But I don't have your courage. It's scary, you know, having your arms cut off, or legs, or your head. I want to be like everyone else, but I'm just too scared. I'm nothing but a craven.
Alright. She is very useful for later. And if you saw that dude attacking her through the ghosty vision, you cannot kill her. Considering she's one of the very few characters in this game where it will not let you kill her. Because she's so important later on. She's actually so important that if you refuse to help her at all, like, if you don't test, or, like, if you don't talk to her and Hedwig, or Hugh, or whatever his name is, about her being special and all that, she'll just become it on her own. Like, it doesn't make much sense, but it's a thing, so... This way if I don't get stuck in a tree. This is the path to skip the first two bosses of the game. And the first two bosses you have to fight, that is. Because, say you're like me and you wanted to get a weapon from the later game area without killing a thing, like you were doing a weapon-only run. Well, this would be the best way to get around that. Which I'm pretty sure anyone who watches this has probably seen at least one of those kinds of runs, or like the Soul Level 1 run, where they go for the, or whatever it is, the Godskin Spieler or whatever. The one that spits out all the black flame. Very crazy strong weapon. Even at level 1, it does some ludicrous damage. Alright. Okie dokie, that was easy enough. There should be a site of grace just up ahead. Yep, and lucky for us, it also dips down just up here. But there is one bad thing. There's no real easy way to get to the Altus Plateau from here. Unless you want to go through all the archers that would probably one-shot me at this level. With my measly vigor of 20. Better than I thought. Oh well. But the best way around that is a lot simpler than you'd think. If I can actually grab this mask without dying. Which is simple. If enemies are crowding around something you need, just circle around. That's the one criticism I really have with the game. The AI is fairly simple. Like, you won't really be needing to, like, try and figure out how the AI works, because most of the time it'll be pretty bland and blatant. Well, I guess onward and upward still. But the plan for what we're doing here is we're going to make our way up to the whatever it's called, through this, I believe. This should leave us at the gate of the Rhea Lucaria's Academy. That's what it's called. Yep, here we are. And from here, you may be wondering, how do we get from here all the way back over there? Well, I'm glad you asked. I just died. Yep. Oops. Well, the main plan of this is once we're here, we can just circle around, get the key to get inside the building. And what can we do while we're in there? Well, there's actually a portal to the other side of the entire area. Meaning this is probably one of, if not the fastest way to get to the Altus Plateau. Since we have both sides of the medallion to activate the Grand Lift of Dectus, we can just kind of shoot in, really. It won't be too hard. One of the really old, overpowered weapons is around this area somewhere. It is the Ice Rind Hatchet. It was amazing, in my opinion, because before they patched it, that thing was, it was one-shotting. Well, not one-shotting, but it was doing a hefty sum of damage to people. Like, it was good for PvP, PvE, everything. That is actually how I beat the Godskin duo on my first attempt in the game. And these guys are just annoying. They're meant to be like, if you stray so far away from the fight with the big old glintstone dragon here, it's like a punishment for not staying in a singular area. Alright, so, now that we're here, we'll just zoom up over here and get this. Now, someone very useful spawns in behind us, one of the merchants. Yep, just down that way is a merchant that I will go to later, because he sells the recipes for the sleeping bomb, which is very good. Well, I say very good. It's an amazing weapon to use against the Godskins, because they are surprisingly weak to sleep. So normally in a fight, you can just use a couple of those, the sleeping bombs, and just be dealt with in the problems. Because that's the thing, a lot of people struggle with the Godskin Nobles, or the Godskins in general, but they aren't really that hard to fight, as long as you don't just stand right on top of them. Well, anyway, we are now on our way to the Altus Plateau. And at the rate I'm going, we should be able to make it there before I run out of time. That is good. Well, anyway, since this is just a long pause to run, how is anyone who watches this doing? If y'all are actually watching this, are y'all enjoying it so far? I'd like to know. To know if there's anything else I could do otherwise. Oh yeah, a useful item that could be used as well are the rainbow stones, and I'm pretty sure you can make them right off the bat with these bad boys. The ruin fragments. Basically, they're just a thing that you can throw in front of you if they break on the floor, it means you're probably going to die from the fall. But if it doesn't, you'll survive, which is very useful. Okay, we just leveled up our flasks a good bit, which is always useful. Now onto an annoying part. Since I'm still fairly low level, this might one-shot me. That is, if it hits. But it looks like I crossed the edge. Yes, and it looks like we are in the safe and clear. Oh, and there's also... If you can see that tower right there in the middle of the screen just about, that is a real annoying tower of the Frenzied Flame. There is a way to turn off said tower, but it is very annoying to do so. Because at the bottom of the tower are a bunch of madness-inflicting rats. You can still be inflicted with madness yourself, and even better, once you get to the top and kill them, there's still gonna be maddening-inducing people in the area. And anyway, I'm going to talk while we see this cutscene, because there's no interaction really. It's just a, hey, you open the door. It is still an amazing cutscene, though. Well, I'm recording this in the early morning. The last episode I actually recorded at, like, the middle of the afternoon, but that just posted, I think, 30 minutes ago now. So with any luck, this one should post about this, hopefully sometime in the night, maybe tomorrow morning. Who knows? Anyway, from here, there's actually a really decent, I would say OP, but it's not as strong as it used to be. The Giant Crusher Hammer, one of the classic weapons in this game, is actually nearby. It's right once you pass that. But we are going northward bound. Because the actual place of where to get what we're going for, the big old ball of stars, I believe is what it's called, is just north of here. Which I think I'm gonna let this video run a little long just so we can get there. Considering we've traveled all this way just to get to the weapon, it's so close. I'd be real evil if I just left y'all on a cliffhanger here. So don't worry, I'm planning to get it before I turn this off. And also here is the map of the Altus Plateau. To get to this weapon, it's actually on the start of the path to Volcano Manor. Basically, you have to get on the bridge, teleport across, using a little, one of those waystone things. Once you do get across, you have to go to the right to the first godskin that I believe you can fight, which is at the Cannibal Lady Village. Then, you gotta turn back around and go down. But not all the way down. It's a really weird thing, and I don't know how people found their way to the Volcano Manor as easily as they did. So, I mean, even with the road on the map there that shows how to get there, it's still kind of confusing. Maybe that's just me being kind of dumb, but hey. Anyway, right there should actually be a summon for a giant rat, if I remember right. Which I might as well pick up. Oh, no giant rat. Oh, this is the armor in the fire. Let's actually see if we can use that. We can actually use that. This is a weapon better than what we got now, but it will be replaced quite quickly. So this is a real fun weapon. I really love the twin blades in this game. Real fun to use. But sadly, we have other plans this time around. Here's the road that we need to be on. Real small, right on the edge of a road that you go down to go to the lower part where the Erd tree is, or the minor one. And there she is. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can either go all the way down there and fight the guy there in an invasion who will give it to you once he's dead. Or you can just pick it up here. Yes, there are two of them that you can actually get. And for now, we only really need one, however. We're only going to grab one. But, just because, let's get our ways to a site of grace so we can end this episode off. In the next episode, I suppose I'll visit the Round Table Hold. And, you know what? I suppose I'll try Morgoth for the first time. That is, if we can actually wield it, which 22 strength, we're 1 off. But we should be able to level up using this bad boy. Also, this is Mount Gilmere. Or Gelmir? I don't know how to pronounce names. Especially ones they pick out of, like, German soundings. Anyway, now we should have a weapon that we are able to use. I think. Or we're about to have one. Considering we can just bop. Bop. That's not the right button I want to press. Okay. So this weapon has Endure as its base stat, which is decent enough, but we can do much better. Well, I hope y'all have a nice day, and see you later.